Hello and welcome to class number 5 of the UPSC Mains Answer Writing Initiative, a place where I am trying to tell you how to decode questions that UPSC asks in the mains examination, where we write an answer to a previous year question, and in the end we also give you a homework for you to try and write an answer which you can send for me for the feedback. For all the classes, I am happy to give you the lectures in the PDF form as well. Make sure that you join the Telegram channel. The link is in the description of the video and you will be able to get all the PDFs of the classes that I do right here. Now, in this series, I've already had 4 classes so far and I'm happy to see that a lot of you have been very attentive and regular with all those classes. In case you have not attended any of the earlier classes, please do that. I'm giving the link again in the description of the video. In the very first class, we discussed in detail about how to structure an answer, how to write the introduction part, the main body and the conclusion part. If you have not seen the first class, please do that. Again, you can go to the playlist and that is where the first class will be given. So please do check that out as well, just in case you have not attended the first class. Now, today let's see what question we have. We again have taken up a question from 2023 mains exam. So far, we have taken up questions mainly from the 2023 mains exam only. Today, I have taken up a question from GS2. It's a question from Indian polity. It's pretty straightforward. It has 2 parts. First, who are entitled to receive free legal aid? And second part, assess the role of NALSA in rendering free legal aid in India. Now, the first part of the question is a factual part. This is tricky. Tricky in the sense, it's a factual question, means either you know it or you don't know. If you don't know who are the people who get free legal aid, then you can't just make a guess. That will become problematic. You will just waste your time. If you know it, then great. Ideally, you should know it because it is an important topic from Indian polity. This question was even asked in the prelims exam also some years back. Some years back, there was a question in the prelims exam about NALSA, who get free legal aid. So it's an important topic which I do not think you should have missed out. The problem with the mains exam is these kind of straightforward questions, if you don't know the answer, you can't really make anything up from your own mind. As you can in the prelims, you can still take a chance in prelim, but in mains you can't take a chance. So first part is straightforward. You just have to write who are the people eligible to get free legal aid. Second part of the question is about the role of NALSA. Now, as you know, NALSA has been given a very important role of spreading legal awareness in the country, organizing the Lok Adalats, seeing if they can set up any alternate dispute resolution mechanism so that people can withdraw cases from the court and get justice quickly and in a cost efficient manner. These are some of the things that NALSA does. So this is what the question is, very straightforward. Now, as I said earlier, whenever you read a question, spend 15-20 seconds of your time in identifying what exactly do you have to write, in properly identifying the keywords first of all. Keywords as in what do you exactly have to include in the main body. So over here there are 2 important points that you have to include in the main body. First, Article 39A of Director Principles of the State Policy. This is the article that mainly talks about free legal aid, that being the government's responsibility to provide free legal aid, no one should be deprived of justice just because they can't afford it. And the second obviously is the Legal Services Authority Act of 1987. These are the important pointers. Our answer will revolve around this. So now let's begin with the introduction part. We have seen multiple times now, introduction means either a fact or a definition. Now again, there is no technical word here to define, so we'll go ahead with the fact. There can be multiple facts here that you can write. I have chosen the most straightforward one, Article 39A of the Indian Constitution, that talks about the Director Principle to provide free legal aid to the people. So this is my introduction, the most straightforward one. Now let's assume you don't remember the article number, which can be a possibility. You don't remember that this is Article 39A. You know that this is somewhere in the Director Principle, but you don't remember the article number. Then what do you do? That's not a great situation to be in. But if you don't remember the article number, you can just start by saying that the Director Principle of the State Policy in part number 4 of the Indian Constitution talk about the government's responsibility to provide free legal aid. So write same stuff, just don't mention the article number in case you don't remember. If you remember, that is an ideal situation. But if you don't remember, even then, skip the article number, mention the fact that it's a part or directive principle of the state policy. At least this much you would remember. And then write the introduction like that. So please remember, even if you don't remember one or two facts, doesn't matter, you can still write an introduction. You just have to find your way around what you know. And then, as I tell you every single time, there has to be a connecting line. Connecting line which connects your introduction to the main body. So connecting line here is about NALSA, that this constitutional provision of the directive principle has been enacted or has led to enactment of the NALSA Act. This is my connecting line. And now I'll come to main body. Main body is straightforward. First part, who are the people eligible to get free legal aid, and second part, the role of NALSA. This part is factual. Again, factual means either you know it or you don't know it. You can't really make up anything. Now, if, for example, you don't remember all of them, which is a possibility, if there are 8 or 10 points or 8 or 10 categories of people who are eligible for free legal aid, it might not be possible for you to remember all of them. That is absolutely fine. Don't stress too much. Also here I would like to tell you, only write the points where you are absolutely sure. For example, let's say you are sure about SC/ST being here, you are sure about women and child, you are sure about mentally ill, but you are not sure if this is a point or not, you are not really sure about this, you are not sure about this, then do not take a chance. Write the ones that you know, and then you can write some other categories of vulnerable sections of the society. Again, if you know exactly which are the people who are included, great. Only write the ones that you absolutely know. Don't take a chance because it might not give a great impression. After writing about 3-4 points of the ones that you absolutely know, next point can be some other vulnerable sections of the society. Now, not an ideal situation to be in, but again, I would really advise you, don't take a chance here, because first, you are giving an impression to the examiner that you are not sure about the answer, you are just making up. And that does not sit well with the examiner, number one. Second, if you are not sure, don't waste time writing. Because writing anything that you are not sure about, which will not be true, is also a waste of time, right? And you can't afford that. It's rather better to spend your time on some other answer where you are more sure about that. So first part is about who will get free legal aid, and we have answered that. Second part is slightly more descriptive, the role of NALSA. Now, NALSA, the two big things that they do, first, spread legal awareness across the entire country, especially in the rural section of the society. And second part is organize Lok Adalats. Apart from that also, they do a lot of things. For example, apart from organizing Lok Adalats, they organize awareness camps at the grassroots level, establish legal aid clinic. They try and get people who need help or some kind of assistance with the lawyers. They try and connect them with the lawyers. They see if the lawyers are ready to help them without charging any fee. They also try and help the vulnerable section specifically. For example, they have their own helpline, that is 15100. You might not know this, but you can remember it now. They also have special services for transgender rights. They also have been trying to spread awareness amongst the prisoners as well. They recently launched a campaign called Haq Hamara Bhi To Hai, which was mainly for the prisoners to get to understand their rights as well. So again, I'm not saying you would know all of this, but this is the entire point of running this series, that I want you to gain more information so that similar kind of questions can be answered better in the future. Then they organize mega Lok Adalats as well for settling disputes in a significant number of cases, run awareness campaigns in literary clubs. They also run the women empowerment through legal literacy program. They also have their own official letterhead called Nyaydeep. All of these are things that NALSA does. Let's assume you don't remember or you don't know all of these. You just know two things. You just know the Lok Adalat part and you just know the legal awareness part. These are the two things that you know about NALSA. Then write about them only. If you want, you can write about them only. You may expand a bit that Lok Adalats have led to solving of cases or disputes in thousands every single day. They drastically reduce the overhead burden of the courts. You can do that. But again, it's not necessary that you will remember all of these points. If you remember all of them, great. If you don't, only write the ones that you're absolutely sure about. Now I'm giving you some more content which you might or might not write depending upon the word limit. If the same question, for example, comes in a larger word limit of let's say 250 words, you would have more content to write. That is challenges faced by NALSA. Now please understand, challenges faced by NALSA is not something that the question is specifically asking you. They are just asking you the role of NALSA. They are not asking you the challenges faced by NALSA. So what we are doing here is, I am giving you more content, because if it's a let's say 150, 200 word answer, then you can write about some challenges in the conclusion part. That these are the challenges NALSA faces and we have to rectify them. If it's let's say 250 word answer, then you can write about challenges in the main body itself. So I am giving you some challenges also faced by NALSA, which you might or might not include depending upon the word limit. Challenges include budgetary limitations, resource constant. Again, I am giving some examples of how much budget that was given to them. Inaccessibility to legal aid. See, it's easy to say that you will get free legal aid, but for that you have to find lawyers also, right? If there's no lawyer ready to fight a pro bono or case just for the benefit of the people without charging a fee, if you don't find lawyers for that, how will you give free legal aid? So it's not just about promising to people, it's also about finding lawyers. You don't get qualified legal professionals who are ready to work in such a case. You don't really get many people who are ready to fight cases, because see, when you become a lawyer or doctor or any other profession, I'm not just blaming them, there's a lot of stress on earning money because you might have taken a loan that you have to repay. So the focus is mostly on people who can pay you a better fee as compared to who can't. And that is also a big problem that NALSA faces. Complexity of legal procedure, social stigma, etc. to reach the court. When you go and fight a case in the court, people say, oh, you should have resolved the matter within yourself. Why did you reach the court? In fact, it is because of social stigma that many of the cases are not even filed. Sexual abuse cases, sexual harassment cases, many of them are not even filed because of this stigma. So these are the challenges. Again, challenges, this question is not asking you specifically, but depending on the word limit, you may choose to write some of them or all of them in the main body or in the concluding part. In the conclusion here, we can write a way forward. I told you earlier also, way forward can be written in those questions where they're asking you about a specific problem. So here they're asking you about the role of NALSA. We have talked about the problems and challenges also. So in the conclusion, we can have a way forward that in order to make NALSA more effective, in order to give the right of legal remedy to more people, we have to ensure that the constraints on NALSA are rectified in order to give a push to alternate dispute resolution. So again, this can be a way forward in the concluding argument. I told you earlier also, way forward is suitable for those questions where they're asking about an issue, about a problem. And this is one of those questions which you can conclude right here. I'll repeat once again, there is no one perfect answer. You can write answers in this form. The entire point of me doing this for you is not to give you the one ideal answer, but to help you figure out answers within itself, which will help you make better arguments for your own. Here is a homework for you, just like every single day, and I'm glad to see many of you have been writing the mail to me, getting the feedback. This is a question from same paper, 2023 GS2. The states in India seem reluctant to empower urban local bodies, both functionally as well as financially. Comment. So it's a question on how and why 73rd, 74th Amendment Act have not been successful, how the states have not empowered the local bodies. This brings me to the end of today's class. You can again send the answers here for a feedback. I am running other initiatives as well. A lot of you have been watching the quick revision series of the prelims paper. I'm glad to see that. Do continue watching that. I do get questions as well. With the prelim nearby, is it time to write the answers or not? So there are two ways to look at it. It's just one question a day. I would advise you to write it. One question a day will not take more than 15-20 minutes. It will just keep you in line. It will just keep you in touch with how to write answers. You don't just need to pick it up after the prelims. But if you're really worried about the prelims, then maybe you can skip this and focus on prelims and come back to this after prelims is over. Do subscribe to the channel, do like the video and tell your other friends about this as well. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.